I always considered our species very interesting due to how different we live compared to the rest of the animals on this planet. To put it into perspective, imagine pigs driving cars or having campaigns on the sidewalks they built. I would be very puzzled. I thought that it meant that we, as the species, had the advantage over the rest of the animals in the world when it came to survival. It wasn't until I watched the episode Swarm from Love, Death, and Robots that made me realize that having a higher intelligence does not equate to having an advantage. In the episode of Love, Death, and Robots, two scientists are trying to breed a species of insects in space that have been living for millennia, known as the hive, and use them, in a sense, as machines to help contribute to labor and further advance the human population as a whole. The insects in question have no thought, but are described as organic machines, all following a system. It is later in the episode that the plan turns to utter dismay, as the hive activates a defense that leads to the creation of a highly intelligent organism that has a main purpose of dealing with problems that require intelligence to ensure the hive's survival. It is revealed that the main reason the species has survived for so long was not just because of the intelligence of this protocol, but also the lack of it as well. This leads to the quote of the episode that resonates with me to this day. Intelligence is not an adaptation in evolution. This leads to the thought of whether the intelligence our species possesses is a burden or an advantage. Compare ourselves to a colony of ants. Everything is systematic, and the colony is able to survive with no qualms or issues. Every ant has a job and does not question it or complain. Even with a lower intellect compared to humans, it still is able to survive in life. Compare that to us, who still do jobs, but there is also inequality and conflict. Does this mean that we as a species are not an advantage but disadvantage? The answer, I believe, is neither. A quote that reflects perfectly to the question at hand is, "With great power comes great responsibility." Humans were given this intelligence, and it is up to us to determine how we use it, whether to our advantage or disadvantage to survival. One person may use the intelligence to create factories that pollute the environment and make life worse as a species, while another can use it to devise a solution to the pollution. Intelligence is not the reason for our inequality and conflict, but how we as humans used it as we went through life. It is important to note that as I talk about intelligence, I don't just refer to math, physics, and science. Though they do make up a part of intelligence as a whole, there are other factors such as our ability to self-reflect. What we do with our ability to self-reflect is up to the person in general. The person can ignore it and continue going on with life, or take advantage of being able to have these thoughts and realize them to better themselves as well as share what we realized. What I thought of this, it made me realize that what the point of having this intelligence is, if not used to its full potential. Personally, I came to the decision for how I would deal with my intelligence, by sharing it instead of ignoring it. How will you, the viewer, use your intelligence going through life? Ignore it or listen to it and dive deeper into thought? To end this video, remember that intelligence is neither good or bad, but just a tool that we as a species possess. And it is up to us on how we use this tool that determines the outcome of being good or bad. Thank you for watching the video. I know this is a total whiplash from what I used to make, but I thought it would be fun to share some of these ideas, and I hope it helped give an interesting view on life. If you do disagree with anything I said, that is totally justified, and if you have any thoughts related to the video, feel free to comment below. I always love to get another person's view on a topic of discussion. Until next time, guys, take care.